Welcome to another episode of Ambidextrous Pass. Pase ambidiestro. Fútbol, honestamente. Soccer, football, honestly. The most beautiful sport in the world. Football, soccer, football. Today, we will summarize what went on in the Champions League. Some great games, great competition, top European football. This is Ambidextrous Pass, and we'll be focusing on the Champions League match day 4. Champions League. Great week, another week of football, and whenever there's football, somewhere out there, there's some type of happiness. Soccer, football. We'll go back to focusing on the Champions League. As we can see, we have a Champions League, a game that started with Napoli and Frankfurt. This game was a goalless draw. Both teams dropped crucial points, and Napoli that created more but couldn't find the back of the net, and it ended up tied. After that, we have a Slavia Praga against Arsenal. An Arsenal that has been dominating the Premier League, and there's no surprise. They're dominating in this Champions League, maintaining their perfect record of a 4 games disputed, 4 games won by Arsenal. We're getting right into it with this Champions League. It's progressing. For those that don't know, it's a league system that has been developed so they can get more teams in this competition. And it started last year. As those that don't know, it started last year. And it creates more matches. It creates more entertainment for the viewers. But this is a Champions League that has been giving great games. Those that watch this competition a lot can notice and see that they are bringing what we call European clásicos. Teams like Manchester City, Real Madrid, teams like Liverpool, Real Madrid, teams like Manchester City, Barcelona, PSG, games of high quality and intensity, technicality, just competitive games all around. So going back onto this match day 4, we have a Slavia Praga against an Arsenal that wins comfortably, an Arsenal that is dominating the Premier League, and they bring the same energy onto this Champions League. A Arsenal that's clinical with an away win. Again, they maintain the perfect record, 4 games disputed, 4 games won, with a very, very dominant game. And Mikel Merino scores a double. Arsenal stay on top of this new league form, of this Champions League campaign. And there's only a few clubs that have been able to stay on the top with 4 wins. And at the moment, those clubs are Bayern, Arsenal, and Inter Milan. Those are only 3 clubs that have disputed 4 games, and they have won their 4 games. Arsenal dominated, they win, and a more than a comfortable win on a 3-0 with Mikel Merino scoring a double. Then after that, we have an Atletico against a Union SG, and Atletico that wins at home on a steady performance. Simeone players are performing, and they won, and they walk away with 3 points. Then we have a Juventus against Sporting. Juventus that tied 1-1 against Sporting. and it drops points at home, and it's a frustrating draw because Juventus has been playing their game, but they haven't been, what you can say, consistent to get the wins and get the points they need, whether it's in the Serie A or in the Champions League. As we can see, they drop points against Sporting and they walk away with a tie. Just 1 point at home. Then after that, we have, like I said before, these are one of the very few games that this Champions League has created such a huge rivalry, focus, and it's entertaining no matter what. It's top quality football. When you have giants that meet, you have a Liverpool against a Real Madrid. A Liverpool against a Real Madrid. Overall, Liverpool was more threatening. Liverpool created more, and Liverpool knocked the door more than a few times on this Real Madrid. A Liverpool that edges Madrid. McAllister's header was the difference in this game. The smallest guy in the field. This is the beauty of this sport. A lot of people think that you have to be a tall, agile player to get these headers, but sometimes all you need is the right placement, the right connection with the right teammate to know where to put the ball. And in this case, McAllister makes the difference for Liverpool, and they walk away with a 1-0. Real Madrid lost 1-0 to a Liverpool at Anfield. Yes. Liverpool is on this continuing, and as we saw, it was inconsistent run, but they are picking up again. They are picking up. Is just this is their second game, a win from picking up a win after losing 4 consecutive games in the Prem. And now they go on to this Champions League and they pick up another win. Something to boost on, something to work on, something to move forward and keep picking up consistency. In this game, Thibaut Courtois was the one who held this Real Madrid in. He was the figure of the game. Why? Because Liverpool were threatening, Liverpool were knocking on the door, and Courtois denied them more than once on clear opportunities for goal. He was the man that kept Real Madrid in this game. Courtois helped Madrid stay in the game. This Madrid does not have a balance in the attack to create more threat in the attack. Looks like the same game every time they attack. In one sense, it's usually Vinicius who grabs the ball. They try to open through the left. He tries to go deep, cut in, try to pull ball in, or he tries to dribble and drive into the area. It's just an opinion. The game has to be a little bit more versatile. It has to change. You can't do the same thing over and over again. Yes, he's a great player. Nobody can take that away from him. He's a great player. But it comes to a point that defenders realize that you are becoming predictable. Sometimes you might be predictable and still win the challenge. Why? Because you are fast. You are great. But the few times that you don't win that 1v1 is because you become predictable. The defender already knows how to position himself to not let you feel comfortable. In this sense, Vini is great, Mbappe is great, but I realized that it's the same pattern of play when Vinicius has the ball at his feet. Something has to change in this Real Madrid attack to be more threatening against such teams that have great defense. Bradley kept Vinicius quiet. Vinicius tried. You could tell he was getting frustrated because he couldn't get past Bradley. But Connor Bradley did what he had to do, kept him quiet for the night, and he did not create much threats. There is a need for a natural 9 in this Real Madrid. Mbappe usually pushes himself towards that same left wing, where we can see that you can have two players of almost the same similarity playing in the same area. This takes away depth and threat from your team. Mbappe tries to squeeze himself on that left wing at times, not too much into the left wing, but he gets close to that wing, and Vinicius is the one who occupies the wing. Sometimes they do switch, but they are both constantly going onto that left wing, which leaves the center attack empty. Nobody to make a threat when one of them tries or is looking to cross the ball in. Madrid is missing somebody like Karim Benzema, a player that was really great on the short passes, the small areas, the dribbling. When Benzema was there in the years that he played with Rodrigo and Vini, you could see that he could make the small connections and the small passes in small areas that would be threatening, because he was such a great player in the small spaces. Vini and Mbappe are great at attacking the space. However, they need a little bit more of ball control in the small spaces to get through the defense and be able to just go through the gaps or create themselves their own opportunities. Space will not always be open, and more when you maintain the ball and move the ball around when you are attacking and the team you're attacking has a low block. Attacking the space and speed will not always work. Madrid is missing a natural number 9. And Benzema was a key player when he was there, but those that seen this Madrid can tell that they are missing. They are missing an attacking player that can play in the small spaces and be threatening in the small spaces with their dribbling and the ball control to create threats. Liverpool were more dangerous in the attack, way more dangerous. At the same time, Liverpool were pressing when they were not pressing and they were defending. They had a low block, and Liverpool showed resilience. They press, they low block, and at the same time they will attack, creating more threat, to the point that, yes, Wirtz was part of this game. Wirtz had and created opportunities. He was just not lucky enough to get an assist, because again, Thibaut Courtois kept Real Madrid in this game. The numbers, the statistics are there. Whether or not some Madrid fans want to accept it, something has to change in this attack to be more effective. Madrid is a great team, but it's missing small qualities when they face teams that have a great press and a great low block. At the same time, rumor has it that Madrid wants to put Vinicius in the market for next year. What has brought this all the way to this point? It might be what happened in Barcelona. It might be the attitude of the player. There's so many things that can play into this role. And again, a great coach, great football mentor, Arsene Wenger said it. Madrid does not like to let players feel like they are bigger than the club. The club is bigger than any player. Every player that's brought into a team, whether it's Madrid, Manchester City, PSG, Monaco, whatever team it is, you are coming to the team to contribute, to be part of the team, be part of the squad. There could be many reasons why this rumor is going around, but a player's attitude does not help the situation. Again, Vinny, you can go anywhere you want, but a club like Madrid, a lot of players dream or wish to play in such club. Professional club that helps you gain silverware and helps you professionally, and it helps you grow. Whether you want to accept this or not, you will see if you leave, you will see if you stay. It's a great team. You have everything you need in La Casa del Madrid. As Vini, rumors are said that he is going to be in the market. Another rumor rises that Haaland is open for talks to come to Real Madrid. That is a natural 9, a natural poacher. He will contribute the same way that he's contributing for Manchester City. Real Madrid are looking for options. Maybe they realize the problem. Maybe they're just trying to solve before it becomes a problem. But Madrid lack in the attack, in the last third of the field. They lack. The team systematically is there, but the attack is not solving to win games like this one. Liverpool, Real Madrid. Liverpool wins 1-0. They were more resilient. They were more danger. And overall, Liverpool deserved it. And Liverpool won thanks to McAllister. After Real Madrid and Liverpool, we have a PSG against a Bayern Munich. A Bayern that wins in the fierce clash. Luis Diaz scored brace, and Bayern maintains a 4-4 perfect record. 4 games disputed, 4 games won. No player has scored 2 goals and received a red card in the first half. Well, Luis Diaz takes this record. It might be a bad record. It might be an ugly record, but it became a record. Bayern were able to hold it down to take this win after going a man down in the first half due to Luis Diaz slide tackling the way he did on Hakimi. Many have an opinion that yes, it was a foul. Yes, it was a punishable foul. But some say it was not for red. To a degree, it was not for red. But this is what happens in the intensity of the game. Even the referees let the intensity of the game affect them. And it's just a psychological part of it. It happens. But this time, Luis Diaz pays for it, even though he was the man to keep Bayern on top. He's also the man to leave Bayern with 10 men on the field. Who can beat this Bayern if they just beat the current Champions League winners, the title defenders, who is PSG? And they have won every single one of their Bundesliga's game. Who can beat this Bayern? And company has a great mentality. Don't let nobody tell you you suck. Don't let nobody tell you you are great. Just go on to the next one. Try to win it. After you win it, forget about that. On to the next one. Try to do the same thing. It's a great mentality. Don't focus on the record you have accomplished. Focus on the present. When you finish that, on to the next one. Try to do the same and win and move on. It's a great mentality. Sometimes players get in a groove, and feeling good can also put you out of tone. However, keeping yourself grounded and taking a game as it comes is the best way to focus and get the results you need to keep on that consistency. Bayern are sweeping through the Bundesliga. They are maintaining their perfect record in the Bundesliga and in the Champions League. But who can beat this Bayern if they just beat a PSG? This was a great game. A game that was so great that those that watch could see the technicality of this game. PSG had great movement on the ball, so did Bayern did have great movement off the ball and on the ball. Both teams were attacking, both teams were pressing, both teams were defending. One thing I noticed is Bayern decided to play man-to-man marking. PSG moved the ball well, but Bayern was having a great rotation when it came to the man-on-man marking. This is not something easy when you have a great team that knows how to dominate the ball and how to move the ball around like PSG. But Bayern do this well technically, and they are able to walk away with a 2-1 win. 2 goals from Luis Diaz. However, also a red for Luis Diaz in the first half. And at the same time, we have the current Ballon d'Or winner who walked away from the field with an injury. Dembele is a great player. However, Dembele has picked up so many injuries through his career. What is the reason for that? Only the people in the medical staff can explain that, or himself. But there's such an inconsistency due to his injuries. Speedy recovery, hopefully you come back better and stronger than Dembele. But this is it for PSG Bayern, a Bayern that wins 2-1. Then after Bayern and PSG, we have a Tottenham against a Copenhagen. A Tottenham that wins comfortably and dominated this home victory. Tottenham wins 4-0 and they climb into the top 10. And Mickey van den Ven had a great, amazing solo goal. A defender took it upon himself to run almost 100 yards, you could say 80 yards across the field to score a solo goal to take it upon himself. Tottenham shows consistency in this Champions League, but they still are not able to show consistency in the Premier League. Maybe the league has gotten more competitive this year. Even Guardiola has stated, and I remark it again, but Tottenham have the talent. They just cannot find consistency, but they walk away with a 4-0 comfortable win against Copenhagen. Then after that, we have a Bodo Glimt against a AS Monaco, and Monaco that gets the first win of the league phase. Then after that, we have an Olympiacos against a PSV that ends up in a tie. PSV scores late to earn a hard-fought away draw. Then we have a quarterback against a Chelsea. Chelsea fights back for a draw. Key points dropped in this game for Chelsea. Garnacho comes off the bench and rescues a point for Chelsea. He is effective off the bench. Garnacho has 2 games now where he scores for Chelsea. A Garnacho that he tried to find a spot in Manchester United, but he decides to move on to Chelsea, and he has made the difference for Chelsea. Then we have a Paphos FC against a Villarreal. A Paphos FC against a Villarreal. A Paphos FC that wins 1-0. A shock win. Paphos gets historic first UEFA Champions League victory. Paphos FC from Cyprus achieve their first ever victory in a Champions League phase by defeating Villarreal 1-0, and Villarreal gets shocked as a visitor and drop points. A Villarreal that finds themselves in the 32 spot with 0 games won, with 1 tie and 3 losses. Something that they might have not waited for, expected. This is Villarreal is doing great and is keeping up in La Liga and is currently sitting in a comfortable spot for European football next season. If they continue like this in La Liga, they can play European football again. But Villarreal gets shocked and they drop points and they currently sit in the 32nd spot in this new Champions League campaign. Then we have a Inter Milan against a Karat Almaty. A Inter that takes another home win and remains flawless. Another team that has disputed 4 games and has won 4 games. They are able to stay top 3 in this Champions League. Then after that, we have a Manchester City against a Borussia Dortmund. Haaland, who had the captaincy in this game against his former club. A Manchester City that wins comfortably 4-1. A City dominant victory. Phil Foden scores a brace. And it's good to see him do something that he is known for. A player that takes shots from outside the box and has great placement when it comes to taking shots outside the box. And it's great to see Phil Foden back. A key player that Manchester City was missing is back. Haaland keeps on scoring, whether it's in the EPL, in the English Premier League, or in the Champions League. He currently has 54 goals in 52 Champions League games. And he has 27 goals for club and country. He has the most goals as we speak this season, ahead of Mbappe and Kane. Another great contenders in this season in the Champions League, in their domestic club leagues. But Haaland is he's a machine. He's scoring. Whether he scores one game or he doesn't, he will bounce back and score and make up. And this is what we're seeing from this guy. Some said that he had a slow start compared to last season, but it might be slow, but he's keeping up anyways. Haaland has 54 goals in 52 matches and 27 goals for club and country this season. Haaland is a menace. He is threatening. Another thing is Cherki was also on the score sheet for Manchester City. This guy is an ambidextrous player. He scored with his right foot. A well-placed shot. Cherki, you are an ambidextrous example. You are a double threat. Why? Players like him don't come often that know how to take well shots with both feet or know how to use both feet. But in this case, he has a great shot with his right foot. And that is a threat, because you don't know which way he will accommodate himself to take a shot, whether it's left or right. You won't know. But this guy is ambidextrous. Then after Man City against Borussia Dortmund, we have a Club Brugge against a Barcelona. A Barcelona did some points with a messy draw. Barcelona fans might say otherwise, but drops significant points. Barcelona was held to a surprising 3-3 draw against Club Brugge, a result that saw the Catalan Giants fall out of the top 8. The draw is kind of fair, but when you see the last goal in favor of Brugge, you can see that there's no foul in reality. But again, honestly, this is only something the officials can explain and give the best professional explanation for you to comprehend. But as a goalkeeper, it's not a foul. Szczesny does something to try to be slick and get away from that forward pressing, and he's smart by leaving his leg on him and seeking a foul. Whether some like to accept it or not, that's what happened. But only the officials can give a professional explanation where people can comprehend. That's really it. But Barcelona go 3-3, drop significant points, and they fall out of the top 8. Then after Barcelona and Club Brugge, we have a Benfica against a Leverkusen. A Leverkusen that secures a narrow away win, and Mourinho keeps losing in this Champions League campaign, and Benfica is at the bottom of the table with no wins, 4 losses. 4 losses. Benfica is probably questioning themselves. Is Mourinho the right man for the job? I believe he's a great coach. He might be going through a moment. Maybe he's trying to get the right pieces to help this team pick up momentum or even grow or find the structure he needs. But Benfica is at the bottom of this Champions League and are not part of the teams that will be playing in that round of 8 or that small playoff that they do. But Benfica is 4 losses in this Champions League. Then we have an Ajax against a Galatasaray. A Galatasaray that wins comfortably. Osimhen scores a hat-trick. Galatasaray dominated the away win. Osimhen leads the scoring with 6 goals. And the only other 2 players that follow for that is Erling Haaland and Harry Kane. You have Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, and Mbappe with 5 goals. But Victor Osimhen is top UEFA Champions scorer at the moment with 6 goals. Victor Osimhen scored a sensational hat-trick, a 3-0 demolition to Ajax. And this puts Galatasaray at place number 9 in this Champions League campaign, helping them go up the table. Ajax sacked their manager, John Heitinga, and one of the coaches, managers they're looking into again is Erik ten Hag. Ajax has been struggling, and they sack their manager effective immediately. Galatasaray wins 3-0 with Osimhen scoring a hat-trick and becoming the top scorer of this Champions League. Then we have a Marseille against an Atalanta. A Atalanta that wins on the road, and Samardzic has a late goal to secure them the win. Then we have a Newcastle against Athletic Club. A Newcastle wins strong home from this is a team that has a great form at home, Newcastle, and they win at home, and their form continues at home. While Athletic Club lose their 3rd game in this Champions League, they have only been able to secure 1 win, and it was in match day 3. So Athletic Club is another club that is sitting in the bottom of this campaign in this table. They are currently in place number 27 out of 36. This Champions League has brought some great games. It's only match day 4, and it has brought some great games. Some games like Manchester City, Borussia Dortmund, PSG, Bayern, Real Madrid, Liverpool. This is some great contenders going at it. Top quality technical football in every way that you see. Great talent going at it. Coaches, their philosophy of the game, their strategy of the game. And we'll be seeing more games like this in this Champions League campaign. This is only match day 4 of this Champions League. There's still more to go. And still more surprises to see. Real Madrid lose to Kamendi due to a muscular problem after an intense Liverpool game. And at the same time, Mastantuono was also found with pulbagia. Same problem Lamine Yamal is facing. And Lamine Yamal says that he might get some backlash due to who he is and what he brings. But some comments, some things that people say are harsh, but you're playing a professional game. You're playing a professional sport. The cameras will always be on you, and more when you're great. Sometimes, as we say, haters will put doubt, and haters will not want you to succeed. That is the truth of when you play a professional sport. Here, we try to keep it genuine. We try to keep it honest. We try to judge the game within what the game is and not what people want to make it seem. It's a sport at the end of the day. All those professional players playing are people at the end of the day. They go home to their families. This is just their job. But it's a professional sport. Cameras will be on you, and more when you act a certain way. Unfortunately, you get a little bit more of focus on you, and some players throughout their professional career has been able to handle that. Some players don't know how to handle that, and that's what comes with playing a professional sport. Whether you play soccer, football, basketball, baseball, American football, this is what comes with it. Is you will be judged for whether you do or you don't. And that's the part of playing a professional sport again. Some things have been unfair, yes. Some comments have been harsh, yes. But here we try to keep it genuine, honest, and judge on the performance of the game, whether you play for a team or whether you feel like you're a great individual. This is a team sport. And we try to keep it genuine to talk about the sport. What can players do better? Or if players didn't do better and they can do better. But it's understandable. You will learn as you go. That's all I can say. But I mean, you're great. That's all that can be said. And when you don't perform, some people will hate. And when you do perform, some people will still hate. So just try to help your team. Try to focus on your team. The noise at times is just noise. But when you give it too much attention, that's when the noise starts getting loud and puts you out of your zone. This is it for a Champions League match day 4. Focus and gave summary of what happened this match day 4. This is all for today. This is the Champions League. Esto es pase ambidiestro. Fútbol honestamente. Ambidextrous pass. Football, soccer, honestly. Thank you for being with us today with summarizing the most beautiful sport and the top European competition. Please like and subscribe. Have a great day. Thank you.